Having a multi-stage, multi-step size snare, I think, is really valuable nowadays, because we're doing more and more procedures that have been triaged effectively. So with high-risk patients and patients who are more likely to find several polyps in one procedure because we've triaged them with FIT, either in the bowel cancer screening program or in the symptomatic service. So when we encounter lots of different polyps, what we'd ideally like to have is one snare that could take care of them all. And so that's I think one of the real strengths of the coin tip is to have that functionality. Because the coin tip is actually a bit stiffer. It's actually a more robust snare, so it doesn't deform with use. You can use it repeatedly in the same patient 6, 7+ times and be very secure and very reassured that it won't lose its effectiveness. The coin tip is actually a really good all-rounder. I really like it for cold snare. The way it's shaped, the way it closes and acquires tissue, I think is really robust and reassuring. And so I really like the coin tip snare for cold snare, and that's probably my approach of choice for sessile polyps that are sub-centimetre. And the reason the coin tip works so well is because it's rigid, it's really relatively stiff, but the diameter of the snare wire is actually approaching a more traditional cold snare, but also that the tip is flattened in the coining process, so to speak. So that actually cuts very cleanly through when you're looking to cold snare, and really that would be my snare of choice now for patients in whom we found multiple polyps. Cold snare, I think the reach of cold snaring, or the indications for cold snaring, have expanded greatly over even the last couple of years, from your traditional sub 5mm or even now sub-centimetre polyps to piecemeal cold snare for larger sessile serrated lesions. So I would use cold snare now for all of those, and actually because the coin tip is a good cold snare, it's an effective cold snare that's been designed as such, but also has the capability of using diathermy for larger lesions. It would be my snare of choice now for that reason. In the literature that's available, really what the emphasis for me over the last few years has been the advent of cold snaring. Not just cold snaring as a standard sub-centimetre treatment for polyps, but cold snaring for larger lesions as well. And I would now say that cold snaring is now an established part of my practice, as it is for many people. I would say that I'm reassured now about the safety of cold snaring, even for bleeding, immediate or delayed bleeding, even in anticoagulated patients, because of the literature that's out there. And now it's a firm part of my practice.